Alright guys, here we go. As I figure out the center post, I think I've about got it figured out. Basically took and traced one of my other pieces so I could sandwich the ridge beam in place. I turned around, traced it, and I dropped it back down 5.5 inches. I think that's going to be my game plan. And what the goal is to basically have everything dead level at the top. So when I bring my rafter off the edge, I just reduced overall length by, let's see, that's supposed to be a 2x6, which is actually 1.5 inches thick. So we'll go ahead and we'll just go ahead and do this in fast forward motion. I'll go ahead and do both. I got to make 2 of these that they're 5.5 inches shorter, because a 2x6 is actually 1.5 inches by 5.5. But just double check myself. Actually, I'm sorry, this is a 2x8, so I completely goofed. This is actually 7, what is this coming out to be? And I'm glad I double checked my measurements. It's between 7 1/4 and 7 3/8. So I even goofed more. Let me redo this, and I'm glad I caught this mistake. I'd rather catch it, and I'll admit my mistakes on camera. I'm thinking I'm working with a 2x6. I'm actually working with a 2x8. With everything going on around me right now, this is turning into a very hectic situation. Like, get this done, get this packed, get this moved instantly. Alright, we're going to take this down. I need to go down from my original line 7 3/8. So let me go ahead and redo that, and we'll just come back. We're going to do this in fast forward motion. We need 2 of these. Alright, so let's make a sandwich. 3 pieces. And you know what? I bet I still goofed. I did. Not even thinking. Oh man, I goofed. So either alright, here's what I got. 1 or 2 little goofs, because I'm not paying attention and I've been such in a rush to get this darn house ready for sale, because Monday I am moving. I'm done. I'm out of the city. I'm not dealing with thieves. I'm out in the country where I can shoot and kill and not care less. Here's my goof. I cut 2 of the center little, I don't know what we're going to call this, little post. It's going to sandwich. But here's where I technically goofed. I cut my other ones almost 2 inches shorter, not thinking that I'm working with almost, I guess these are supposed to be 2x8s, but they're like 7 3/8 wide. So I goofed up and cut this down. I cut my the center pieces shorter, intending for I guess a 2x8 to fit. But actually what I'm going to need is basically put that about 2 inches back. So I got to recut 2 of these. I'm going to use the good old Makita. I'm sorry, wow, I hate Makita. I'm in Milwaukee. I'm out today. Alright. First one down. Need to cut a couple of notches. Before I make any more cuts and waste any more of my scrap wood, let's double check, make sure what I got going on, because honestly I've never goofed this much building something so simple. So we are correct. We're going to cut this out. Alright, flip it over, and one here, and looks like we got one of these basic. We'll take one of those, one of these. We'll line everything up, and so we can sandwich a 2x6. We'll grab one more of these. Guess it doesn't matter what side is going to be considered the ugly side out, because you technically are not going to see it. And basically like that. I guess let me switch on camera angles and we'll get this thing put together. So alright, got a chance to go by my new favorite hardware store in town. Well, it'll be my new little town. Been working out there one too many years. Finally decided I'm moving out there. So we got this down, 3.5-inch screw. That I just dropped. It's alright. And time to make a permanent sandwich. My main goal, want to make sure all this is lined up, lengths, widths, etc. And it holds. The reason I use these, I've used them for the majority of the building, and I'll drive them in a hair. So it locks everything in place, and once everything is up in the air, make sure not shifted. Nope. So far done. We'll drive a couple more in here. Locking all this together. I don't know how many we're going to put in, probably I love these Milwaukee impacts. Hell, I love all the Milwaukee tools. And that's it. And here, we'll stand y'all guys up a hair. I guess we're going to stand y'all up a lot. But that's basically the whole thing right there. And what I'm doing is, let me get right here. I'll grab this scrap that conveniently placed itself. Now this is a 2x8, but I just want you guys to kind of get an idea. This is going to sit on top of the wall, right in the center, And what I'm doing is stretching my ridge beam. I'm gonna stretch it across. It's a 2x 6x16 and a 2x6x10. I'm gonna sister them together and I'm trying to run from the back wall. I'm gonna leave about a foot of overhang on the back wall, and I'm gonna come straight out over the front porch. And this will be basically the general idea, is so that way I can hang it. And I know there's going to be people that are going to tell me, oh, you need to have a 2x8 up there instead of a 2x6. I'm trying to put a very lightweight roof on it. It's really more about a shelter than superb strength, but I believe the way I've been building this for the portable cabin, this should suffice. But that's it. That way, once this is in place, I need one more of these. I'm about to cut the other piece. It's up in the air. I can do what I got to do to get the 2x6 up, and we'll stretch a temporary tarp for a roof. Because unfortunately now I have, for me, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Today I have to go to work. They just changed my schedule around, so I have no choice. Get this done now, because come Monday, which is in several more days, I have a whole house to move to a rental. So this one could be put up for sale, and we're going to be permanently out of the city. So let me go ahead and I'll just do the other one off camera, and I'll bring you back. I'll bring you guys back, and we'll show you the result of the other pillar. All right. Just a quick demonstration. Playing around with this. Whatever I got on my table. You gotta thank my kids. It's not letting me sit this level, but we got a spot. Front beam, we'll have the ridge. These pieces do seem like they get a little extra heavy. And basically just like that. It allows this to sit on the top of the wall, and matter of fact, where this is going to be sitting, there's a double 2x4 of the wall. Same thing with there. Now I can come back. I believe this is almost a 3-inch, so I can come back with like three 2x3s put together, and I could make it look nice and fancy to make it come down the wall, so it makes it aesthetically appealing. If I choose to, also, I could always put up a temporary, I could put something else temporary, or, well, what I'm thinking is right now, just put this up in place. We'll put the ridge beam in, go ahead and stretch the tarp so we can go ahead and get the building basically dried in, because we just honestly had a massive rainstorm last night. Got caught out there at the camp, moving stuff into the camp. So now the biggest issue is trying to keep the inside of the cabin. We need to dry it back out. So we're going to throw the windows in temporarily. We're going to put these in. And what I'm thinking is actually coming back. Let's see, the walls are 8 foot, 8, 10. We'll either come back with a 2x8x10 or a 2x8x12. And what I might actually do is actually run these from the top straight to the bottom continuously, and we can go that route. So these could be temporary, these could be the permanents, I'm not sure, but this is the basic design. Well, that way at least what it allows us is to have the ridge beam is going to sit from here to here higher than everything else. I don't want a super tall peak of a roof, I just want it just a short, just barely a peak to allow slope of the roof. This is actually a change up from my original design, but this is definitely more plausible. I have now these two. I have the 2x6x10 and a 2x6x16 at the camp. So next is next. I need to go find. I'm going to my scrap pile, and I have plenty of them. I have 2x6s by 4s and 5 foots. So we're going to go ahead and get that so we can find a way to sister everything up once it's there at the camp. Alright, I guess we'll be on to the next clip, guys.